actually, microphone 2.
Yep. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I have Rita Mazalevskis, a shareholder from the Sunshine Coast.
Hello, Chair and Board. I'm a shareholder, I'm a customer, I'm still a long-standing and aggrieved customer. I'm also part of the bank warriors and want to acknowledge all my fellow bank warriors in the room, particularly the other long-standing customers being Mr. Caulfield, Ms. Thompson, Mr. Brooks, myself, anyone else that I've missed and everybody else that's watching, because I understand the shareholders want to hear good news stories and the bank delivering on their share return. But unfortunately, what's happening to us affects them directly through non-financial risk in the financial reports. And you may not be aware of that, but a lot of us don't have homes, our lives have been destroyed, and you might not want to hear our stories, but we desperately have to have the board listen to us because it's the only time we get to do it. So can you please just bear with us this morning? And I don't know if it was a technical issue or if it was strategic, but please don't turn the microphone off on Ms. Thompson again. As per Rule S250S of the Corporations Act, you know that shareholders are allowed to ask questions at a meeting. And yes, we're very passionate, but we are severe victims of the bank. And I hoped that you would let us have this one day to get our dirty washing out, so to speak, with ANZ. So I'll ask my question now.
Please.
ANZ's submission in response to the Commission's letters of the 15th of December 2007, the submission responds on behalf of ANZ and its associated entities. ANZ acknowledges, however, with regret that there have been too many instances in which its conduct and the conduct of some of its employees and representatives have not met community standards and expectations or has amounted to misconduct. It also says that ANZ believes that it is not done enough to demonstrate fairness and empathy in the way it behaves towards its customers and the community. ANZ acknowledges that there have been and will be individual cases where it will not have met community standards and expectations or will have engaged in misconduct. The definition misconduct extends to matters such as breaches of the Australian Bankers Association Code of Banking Practice. This applies to personal and small business bank customers of ANZ. It then talks about the remedy. And in this it says that ANZ works hard to remedy the consequences of misconduct and failures when they are identified so that affected customers are not left in a position of disadvantage. Remediation generally includes interest or other compensation to reflect the time between the failure occurring and ANZ compensating the customer. In 2017, ANZ, in consultation with its Customer Fairness Advisor, sought to articulate the principles applicable to all remediation carried out by the bank, in brackets, the remediation principles. And these principles are listed as being: we will listen, we will apologise, we will compensate, we will commit resources to fix the problem, we will explain our approach clearly, we will act speedily, and we will learn from mistakes when they are made. Now, as a long-standing victim, I have a huge issue with this because I haven't received one little bit of that, and I'm sure there's plenty more victims out there that are in the same boat. So in regards to this statement that was made to the Royal Commission, I would like to know what you would like to say to all the outstanding customers that haven't received any of what's listed here that are supposed to be the principles, the remediation principles, let alone a meeting to discuss our cases, because I most certainly have been denied meetings several times.
Look, thank you for reading that out. We believe in that. That's what we do. But at a meeting such as this, we can't judge particular situations in
I'm
relation
talking
to
about
that.
the overall principles
Well,
of the
the
remediation
overall
principles,
principles
not to
are
discuss a
endorsed.
particular case.
Well, I'm just getting to that.
Yeah.
I'll let you speak. Please let me.
Sure.
The board endorses those principles. We seek to adhere to those principles. Quite often, people have different views. Our people do listen. I don't want to talk about your situation. I do remember our discussion a year ago. I do remember, reading the various things. You're entitled to your view, but we are too. We seek to adhere to those clauses, but I don't think the shareholders would want us just writing cheques without being diligent in what we're doing and following through on the principles that we've espoused. And, if you feel you haven't been listened to, as I said in my speech, there are people here today who I'm sure would wish to talk to you, and you're welcome to do that.
Okay, so I just want to clarify, Mr. Gonski, I actually didn't have a discussion with you last year in regards to my own case. You actually wanted to shut down Ms Thompson and I at the Perth AGM in regards to
I didn't say that you spoke to me about your case. I said you were at the AGM.
Okay, just flowed on from that, so it sounded like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and just in regards to you saying about time with these cases, mine's running into 11 years. Mr Brooks has stated his is 28 years. Mr Caulfield is 10, 11 years. I'm not sure how long Carolyn's is, and there are many, many more. So how many years is someone supposed to wait? How long does it take to rectify the bank's wrongdoing?
Look, thank you. You've made your point. Everybody's heard it. I think it is a little unfair on the people who are working on it, because
What about it being unfair
obviously,
in our lives, what you've done to us?
listen, I think, I've let you have a good say. Everybody's heard what you've had to say. You know what the board stands for. We seek to apply that. We cannot possibly go through every case. We have very good people who can do it. They are attempting to do it, and I'm sure it wouldn't be appropriate for me to take this any further. So thank you very much for your thing.
But I did want to request a meeting with you.
Yes, I think we have finished. Can we move then to the next questioner on microphone 3?